Did Mary, the son of the mother of Jesus, did she walk around dressed like this? Did she wear a bikini? Did she cover her head? Was she subservient to God and asked what God told her to do, and therefore she covered in hijab? Being subservient and loving God and maintaining her honor. My young sisters, please, if you want to get your bread buttered, please keep your bread warm. Cover. Your honor. Islam teaches the woman honor and respect. Look at the condition of women today here in the United States. Loss of honor, loss of respect, subservient, killing themselves, committing suicide because their self-image is destroyed, because if you're not skinny and blonde, you're ugly. In Islam, Muslim women have the right to be what they want to be. Be as big as they want to be and small, and they're as pretty as can be. And we love them that way. So Islam does not speak of all those things. This is a Western society. These are things, Islam, unfortunately, Islam gets judged on culture rather than Islam. If you do not accept the teachings of Islam and you follow your culture, which teaches you that you should walk 5 paces, a woman should walk 5 paces behind you, that's your culture. That is not Islam. You have not submitted to Islam. You put your cultural mores and teachings above the teachings of Islam. But unfortunately, Islam gets judged on culture rather than its teachings. I bid you to look into Islam. Look into it. Look into it and read it with a clean heart. And we welcome you to accept God as one God and one God only. To make a clear commitment like the prophets did to the worship of God, and to find happiness and joy in serving the God who is the creator upon which all creation worship. And Jesus Christ was of no difference. How could he be God and worship God at the same time?
According to Surah 2, verses 144 to 150, we see that God has changed the direction of prayer from Jerusalem to Mecca. The Muslims, if you don't know that, they prayed for 17 months, and this is according to Al-Bukhari, part 3. Brother Sadiq, why God has changed the direction from Jerusalem to Mecca? In the first thing, why God asked Muhammad to pray? Is he deceiving just the Jewish people, or there is a reason behind changing the direction of prayer from Jerusalem to Mecca?
I quote the verse again from Jesus Christ: may the peace and blessings of God be upon him. He who is subject and subservient to the God who created him, and who followed what God told him to say and do. Jesus Christ said, what I do not do of myself, but of the Father that sent me. For me of mine own self I do nothing. For what I hear is just, for it comes from him. So Jesus Christ said, woman, there will come a time when you neither worship in this mountain, Zion, nor in Jerusalem. For you know not what you worship, but we know what we worship. So Jesus spoke about the changing of the Qibla to Mecca. In the Bible itself now, the first house to be built for the worship of the one God was in Mecca, and it was called the Kaaba. And this is a unity situation to look toward God. It's an orientation. An orientation that signifies the unity of the human race together as one, worshiping as one God, in one direction and one face. That thing you also see in your Bible. In Jacob, there's a rock that he put on the ground. I forgot the story. I did this the other day. A rock where that rock was supposed to be that you would face in prayer. I have it in my notes. I forgot what it's called in the Hebrew. So he also established that as a focus of prayer. But not that the rock was God, but that as a focus and a focus of unity in uniting the worshipers in the oneness of God.
1 minute comment.
Okay, first of all, you didn't answer my question, and you talk about the prayer, what Jesus said to the Samaritan woman, pray in spirit and truth. Spirit and truth, they don't have a physical direction. And Muhammad prayed according to the Jewish people, praying towards Jerusalem, because he wants the Jewish people to come to him. When they refused him, the Quran is very clear. He said, وَقَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهَكَ. That is why he went back to the prayer where the pagans were praying, because the Qibla is not Muhammad initiated it. There were a lot of idols, there were a lot of things there, and I think You need to go and read your Quran, leave Jesus himself, because Jesus is not talking about Muhammad. He's not talking about the direction, and the direction that he's talking is a spiritual direction. It has no physical orientation.
Okay.
Sadiq,
again,
your first question.
Okay, here's my question. About the teachings of Jesus Christ and how it refers and how it impacts our society every single day. If you believe that Jesus Christ is God, then Jesus himself, again, inspired the Old Testament. Now, we all know the horrors of alcohol, what it's done to our communities and to our people. How people die and women and children suffer. How the breaking of families and all these things are done by this thing of alcohol, and not only alcohol, but the product of alcohol, which is to become intoxicated, to get drunk, to leave a state of reality and to move into another plane. How do you explain then God, Jesus Christ, who inspired this book, now saying these words? I hope I have time for describing that, please. I cannot remember them.
You've got about 10 minutes to ask. You may want
Okay, where it says, in order that they may forget their infirmity and their pains, in order that they may forget their poverty, give them strong drink. How do you claim that this is a godly act? By God, who would claim for the pains in your stomach and to forget your poverty to get drunk. How do you explain it as it relates to the people today and intoxication?
First of all, it is not Jesus who said that. This is Paul instructed Timothy in order to take few wine for his stomach. And you know that the alcohol also, it has a medicine. And first of all, when we talk about alcohol and drinking and all kinds of these things, according to Mark 7, Jesus, he said it very clear. It is not the thing that is really come inside the body that pollute it and make it unholy, but the things that coming out from inside. What comes from inside, the murder, the adultery, the deception, the lying, these are the things that we need to look at. We don't look at the external things, which is like when we talk about drinking. And the Bible is very clear about it, saying that not all things are permissible, and not all things are permissible, and not all things are good. I don't remember the verse very clear. But in that sense, for me, the purity and the holiness, it is not that the things that you put them in, but the things that you put them out. And the wine you talk about, it is actually, he didn't say to him, don't drink and be drunk, but he said to him, take a little bit in order to, for your stomach, in order to be cured. And I know that the alcohol, it has a lot of other usefulness other than being drunk.
Can I respond?
Yeah, 1 minute to respond.
Okay, the verse is this. Book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 6 and 7. Now listen very well. Give them strong drink. It's not talking about old Welch's juice. Strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter at heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty. You see, if you drink water, you ain't forgetting your poverty or the situation you're in. When I used to drink, I got drunk, real drunk. And the reason I didn't remember my inhibitions or my poverty was because I was drunk, sleeping it off. My memory was taken away from me. The Bible is stated right here, Book of Proverbs, chapter 31, again. The Bible again, Jesus' first miracle was to turn what? Water into wine. Did this God not realize that wine, the problem with it is intoxication, that this would affect his people, that it's not about them, that it's about what they drink and their ability not to cope with it. Did God not know that?
Thank you, Sadiq. And now, Ali, for your second question.
My second question to Sadiq is about the sin of Adam. The Quran in Surah 2, verse 37, it says, فَتَلَقَّى آدَمْ مِنْ رَبِّهِ كَلَمَاتٍ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ. And Adam received from his Lord words, and God forgave him. And from the Muslim standing, we know that they don't accept that this sin, it has the snowballing effect that it is coming to us right now. My question to Sadiq, if God forgave Adam, why he expelled him out of the paradise. And in addition to that, why he expelled us if it has no ripple effect on us. Why he expelled us